Attention, Steelers fans. Nick Wright unleashes a storm on the team's offensive weapons. In a statement that has rocked the Pittsburgh Steelers community to its core, Nick Wright has launched a frank and unfiltered criticism towards the team's offensive weapons. Wright, known for his direct and unfiltered analysis, has questioned the quality and performance of the Steelers' running back room, arguing that it's being overrated and not meeting expectations. The Steelers don't have good weapons, Wright asserted forcefully. I think Najee is mediocre, no sugarcoating it. I think Jaylen Warren, every team has a Jaylen Warren, a guy who, if he can get 6 carries a game, looks dynamic. If you don't have a Jaylen Warren nowadays, what are you doing? They're wide receivers, they have one who is talented but a complete malcontent. And do they have the worst weapons? Clearly. These words come at a critical moment for the Steelers, especially after the recent departure of wide receiver Deontay Johnson. The need for improvement is evident, but hope resided in the strength of the running back group, led by Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, backed by Cordarrelle Patterson. Najee Harris has achieved an impressive feat by becoming the first player in Steelers history to rush for over 1,000 yards in each of his first 3 seasons. However, despite his accomplishments, Harris faces criticism from Wright and other analysts. On the other hand, Jaylen Warren, in his second year, has shown flashes of excellence with an impressive average of 5.3 yards per carry in the 2023 season. Despite the solid numbers, Wright questions the true impact that Harris and Warren can have on the Steelers' game. With uncertainty surrounding Harris's future contract and the resurgence of the running back market in 2024, the pressure is on the shoulders of these two players to prove their worth in the upcoming season. Steelers fans eagerly await to see how the team will address these criticisms and how they plan to strengthen their offensive arsenal. Stay tuned for more updates on this topic on our channel, where we will delve deep into how the Steelers are working to overcome this challenge and stay at the top of their game. The Pittsburgh Steelers have set their sights on Georgia offensive tackle Amarius Mims for the first round. Could he be the solution as the team's offensive tackle? The Pittsburgh Steelers have repeatedly been linked to Georgia offensive tackle Amarius Mims in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft, but there are some concerns about the massive lineman. The Steelers have not hidden their interest in Mims, bringing him to the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex for a pre-draft visit, sending General Manager Omar Khan, head coach Mike Tomlin, and others to his pro day in Athens, Georgia, and conducting a formal interview with him at the 2024 NFL Combine. But his pro day on April 10th, where Mims will undergo tests and perform position drills after suffering a hamstring tear at the Combine, could be the icing on the cake for the Steelers. They are likely to send personnel to that pro day to see how Mims performs in a comprehensive environment. The 6'7" 3/4", 340-pound player certainly has the size and athletic prowess to get the job done, showcasing the latter with a 5.07-second 40-yard dash time at the Combine, an impressive time for his size. But there are significant questions about his level of experience and injury history. After being behind Broderick Jones and others in his first 2 seasons, playing in only 2 games as a sophomore, Mims played in only 6 games due to injuries in 2023 before declaring for the draft. Mike Tannenbaum, former general manager of the New York Jets, who selected Mims at number 18 overall for the Cincinnati Bengals in his latest ESPN mock draft, acknowledged the risk of taking a player like Mims. I like him, Tannenbaum said in a conference call last week. A big, talented guy. I'm concerned that he hasn't played a lot there. Now, there were a lot of good players in front of him. So, I still have him in the first round because his mobility for his size is just rare. It's not ideal when you talk about some of these other guys who have played at least 3 years. It's a little risky. The Steelers have an affinity for younger players in the draft, and they selected Jones as a Georgia junior last year, but the lack of college playing time makes evaluating Mims difficult. His current average in the NFL mock draft database is number 23, so while there are scenarios, like Tannenbaum's, where the big bulldog will be selected, the Steelers are most likely to have their shot with Mims, if they desire. Ultimately, Mims is filled with tools that can't be taught at the position. He's already a reliable pass protector, and if he improves his consistency in the run game, he has a chance to be an influential player in the trenches. He's not currently the most refined player, but labeling him as raw would be a disservice. Unfortunately, without a crystal ball, there's no surefire way to know if Mims will be resilient enough to reach his high potential. All outcomes, good and bad, are on the table for the former five-star prospect. Some teams could take him in the top 10 picks, or he could fall into the late first-round range. Neither would be too surprising. His talent is undeniable, and given the premium placed on the position, the Steelers would be wise to do as much homework as possible on Mims. He's expected to be a highly debated and somewhat polarizing prospect during this cycle. The atmosphere surrounding the Pittsburgh Steelers is charged with expectations and debate, especially after former team linebacker Arthur Moats made a bold proposal, signing Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos. Moats, energetically backed by his co-host Deke on their podcast, doesn't hold back in highlighting Simmons' importance and his potential to strengthen the team's defense. Moats can't contain his enthusiasm, stating that the Steelers can't afford to overlook a player of Justin Simmons' caliber, even hinting that Deshaun Elliott's salary shouldn't be a hindrance to his signing. According to him, Simmons deserves to be in the same conversation as the league's top safeties, like Minkah Fitzpatrick. The discussion revolves around Simmons' price range, estimated between $8 and $11 million per year. While this figure might be tempting, the Steelers would face a financial challenge to incorporate Simmons into their roster. However, both Moats and Deke argue that his acquisition would be a crucial piece for the defense and that paying $10 million to the second safety shouldn't be a deterrent. Speculation about Simmons' future arises after his release by the Broncos on March 7th as part of their efforts to comply with the salary cap. At 30 years old, Simmons still has a lot to offer on the field and becomes an attractive target for teams looking to bolster their defensive secondary. However, not everyone is convinced of the idea. Ramon Foster, former Steelers guard, warns about the risks of pursuing Simmons, questioning whether his signing would truly guarantee a Super Bowl conquest. The fundamental question he raises is whether a player like Simmons is the missing piece to lead the team to ultimate success. Opinions diverge among former Steelers players, but the conversation about the possibility of adding Simmons to the roster continues. The uncertainty about how long Simmons could remain with the team adds an element of uncertainty to the discussion. However, what remains clear is that the Steelers are considering all available options to strengthen their defensive line and remain competitive in the league. And there you have it, Steelers fans. Controversy is in the air and opinions are divided. From Nick Wright's incisive criticism to speculation about Amarius Mims' future and the bold proposal to sign Justin Simmons, the debate is in full swing. Do you agree with the expressed opinions? Do you think the Steelers need to bolster their offensive arsenal with a player like Mims? Or do you believe that defense is where they should focus, as suggested by the idea of signing Simmons? We want to hear your opinion. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates, give it a like if you enjoyed the content, and share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay connected with us to continue exploring all angles of this exciting Pittsburgh Steelers saga. Until next time.